Please stand for the interests of our graduates.
Let me have your attention, please. May I have your attention, please. Those of you who are standing in the back, we do have room behind our faculty members at this time. If you would go ahead and quickly move to those seats, it would be greatly appreciated. To this section over here to the right, if we could remain standing for the presentation and posting of the colors.
home. Present, arms. Detail, close. Pose. Detail, pose. Right turn, march. Forward, march.
You may be seated. Good afternoon. My name is Leonidas Fair Jr., and I am the principal of Rocky Mount High School. I would like to take this time to introduce our special guests. They are Dr. Anthony Jackson, Superintendent, members of the Nash Rocky Mount Public Schools Board of Education, Mrs. Evelyn Bullock, Board of Education Chair, Mrs. Ann Edge, Mr. William Sharp, Mr. Wayne Dahl, and Mrs. LaShonda Washington. From the Nash Rocky Mount Public Schools Senior Staff, Dr. Eric Cunningham, Associate Superintendent, Mr. Leroy Hartsfield, Assistant Superintendent, Mrs. Robin May, Assistant Superintendent, Dr. Patricia Hollingsworth, Chief Public Information Officer. I would also like to recognize members of the Rocky Mount High School administrative team, Ms. Jennifer Sharp, Mr. Claude Archer, Ms. Kill Dawson. If we have any dignitaries from the community here with us today, elected officials, we want to take this time to say thank you for your support and being here to join with us in this celebration. Your sons and daughters have reached a major milestone in their lives, and this ceremony today represents a great accomplishment in one's educational career. Therefore, it is the expectation of Nash Rocky Mount Schools Board of Education and the faculty and staff of Rocky Mount High School to have a graduation ceremony that is carried out with dignity and with formality. You and your graduate have invested a tremendous amount of time, effort, and money to reach this point. We feel that we owe you an impressive and dignified ceremony. In order to do this, we need your help and your cooperation. I humbly and sincerely ask that you refrain from clapping, cheering, shouting, calling out names, standing, and whistling during the ceremony. If you do this, you will be asked by a faculty member standing on the floor to leave the premises. If you refuse to leave the premises, then one of the officers standing on the floor will escort you from the building and the premises. This type of behavior is distracting and it causes other parents to not hear their child's name when it is called. Each parent deserves the right to hear their child's name without interruptions and distracting comments. We simply want to provide you with the best graduation ceremony possible. There is a time designated at the end of the ceremony when you may celebrate and cheer. At this time, I would like to present Leonard Lancaster, Senior Class President, for our welcome.
Good evening and welcome. I am Leonard Lancaster, Senior Class President for Rocky Mount High School, Class of 2015. On behalf of the entire senior class, I welcome family, friends, administrators, board members, dignitaries. Most of all, I celebrate all of you, my classmates. As we proceed with our commencement ceremony, today is not simply a graduation. It marks the beginning of a new chapter in all of our lives. As we walk out of these doors for the last time today, we will be embarking on new adventures. Whether you'll be attending college, going into the workforce, or joining the armed forces, I wish you nothing but the best. I want to leave you with some words of encouragement. As we enter our lives beyond high school, we will encounter some things that are for certain. It is certain there will be failure. However, there will be success, and may there be many. It is certain there will be negativity. However, there will be positive people at every turn. Focus on the positive, class of 2015. I've come to tell you that there is no man on this earth that can tell you no to your dreams, no to your aspirations, no to your goals. Refuse to listen to negativity. Refuse to give up on your dreams. And most of all, never lose sight of who you really are. Thank you, and again, I welcome you to the Rocky Mount High School graduating ceremony for the class of 2015.
Good afternoon. It is my privilege and pleasure to introduce to you the first of two valedictorians for the class of 2015. Madeline Eileen Amos. Madeline is the daughter of Clifford and Eileen Amos and the sister of Colin, who is a previous graduate of Rocky Mount High School. Madeline is graduating as a candidate for the International Baccalaureate Diploma with a GPA of 5.3438. Madeline is president of the International Club, a member of the math team, the art club, the National Honor Society, and the Foreign Language Honor Society. She was recognized for her outstanding achievement in IB Literature, IB Spanish, IB Art, and IB Theory of Knowledge. She was also awarded the IB Humanitarian Award for her philosophy for life, which is to live sustainably and to leave a small footprint. In her efforts to be a good steward of the earth and to promote animal rights, Madeline is a vegan, choosing to eat no meat or any product that comes from an animal. She volunteers as a member of PETA's street team to raise awareness about about animal cruelty and animal rights. She also works with foster dogs to help socialize them so they can be adopted into loving homes. In her spare time, Madeline plays piano, a talent she has perfected since she was 8 years old. She also loves to ride horses and has taken riding lessons for 10 years. Madeline will be attending the University of North Carolina in Chapel Hill in the fall and plans to pursue a double major in women's studies and Global Studies. Congratulations, Madeline.
Welcome, administrators, teachers, parents, and especially the graduating class of 2015. I would like to extend a special thank you to my parents and teachers for their unconditional support and encouragement during my time at Rocky Mount High School. Earlier this year, I came across a quote by Eleanor Roosevelt that caught my attention. She said, "Do one thing every day that scares you." Upon first hearing this quote, it may evoke an adverse reaction, and you may feel reluctant to heed this advice. The word scare has a negative connotation and is something that most people try to avoid. However, let us interpret this in a more positive light and think of it as a challenge instead. What Eleanor Roosevelt was suggesting was to do things that take you outside of your comfort zone. It could be something as simple as trying a new food or learning a new sport, or something as challenging as reaching out to someone you would not normally associate with, or learning about a different culture. But why should we do this when it's so easy to continue doing what we are comfortable and familiar with? Surrounding yourself with the people and places you know so well is reassuring, comforting, and makes you feel safe. At this point in our lives, many of us have found a place in which we are content, and we may have no desire to change anything or to push ourselves. Complacency is this feeling of satisfaction that prevents us from trying to improve or challenge ourselves. Complacency is not necessarily a bad thing, but it certainly can be limiting. It can hinder our growth and prevent us from discovering who we are or who we could become. Within the next few months, whether we are going to school, work, or the military, our lives are going to drastically change. As we approach this next stage in our lives, we are met with the perfect opportunity to explore new ideas, situations, experiences, or even a new part of ourselves. To return to analyzing this quote, let us dig a little deeper and consider seeking out things that intimidate us. Although embracing new things would result in an interesting and full life, I believe that a mindful approach is necessary as well as a physical one. One of the scariest things that we can do is to question our own beliefs and to be open to the perspectives of others. It is common for our first response to any challenge to our established belief system to be defensive. Instead, let us try to be open to other opinions and not shut out opposing viewpoints. Perhaps doing this would result in a more open-minded and less judgmental world. This may not be the approach that you think of when considering the advice in the quote, but opening your mind is just as important as opening yourself up to new experiences. So, in the words of the author Paulo Coelho, be brave, take risks. Nothing can substitute experience. Best of luck to each of you in your future endeavors. Thank you.
It is now my pleasure to introduce to you the second of our two valedictorians for the class of 2015, Allison Grace Binkley. Allison is the daughter of Dot and Ronnie Binkley and the sister of Aaron, currently a rising junior at Rocky Mount High School. Allison is graduating as a candidate for the International Baccalaureate Diploma with a GPA of 5.3438. Allison is an active member of the National Honor Society and the International Club, and she was recognized for her outstanding academic performance in physics, as well as IB Math and IB Chemistry. She was awarded the 2015 Female Scholar Athlete, and with her best friend, Katie, finished third in the state for doubles. She is also a member of the swim team, where she made regionals in the 500 and 200 free. She also plays soccer in her off season. That's 3 sports and tied for valedictorian. Allison will be attending Duke University in the fall and plans to pursue a major in biomedical engineering. She ultimately wants to design prosthetic limbs inspired by a friend of hers who has a prosthetic leg. Congratulations, Allison.
Welcome and congratulations, class of 2015. This is the moment we've been waiting for. We're graduating, moving on in the world. But none of us would be celebrating this accomplishment today without the support of all the people standing before us. I know that I wouldn't be standing in front of you this afternoon without the positive influence of so many people who have helped shape my life over the past 4 years. My family, my teachers, my 2 best friends, and so many others have helped me become who I am and helped me to achieve my goals. There is one person in particular whose wisdom has been very influential in my life. That person is my grandfather. Papa, as I call him, is a man for whom I have great admiration. He has always been there to support me in countless ways, help me in any way possible, and push me to be the best person I can be. But one lesson he has taught me really sticks out. Papa would always quiz me on multiplication tables and square roots at the dinner table, and buy me new books to read at the bookstore as soon as I had finished the last one. He was constantly challenging me. Sometimes the challenge would seem too difficult, and I would say in frustration, "Papa, I can't do that." But Papa would never let me give up. He would immediately reply, "Allison, don't say I can't." Rather, he would tell me to say that I was having trouble instead. To 8-year-old me, this seemed like a nuisance. I would just say what he wanted me to say so that I could get help and didn't think twice about it at the time. But over time, Papa's lessons of persistence and determination really began to sink in with me, and the words "I can't" steadily disappeared from my vocabulary. As I stand here today and look back at my 17 years, I see all the times I could have said "I can't" and given up. I could have given up on swimming when I didn't make regionals my freshman year. I could have given up on my goal to go to Duke University when I was frustrated and sleep deprived after a week of one test after the other. During a year full of tests and trials, I could have given up on my faith. But any one time where I could have said "I can't" could have caused me to not be standing here giving this speech. And maybe I wouldn't be the person I am today. When Papa found out that I'd be standing up here today giving this speech, he emailed me and congratulated me. This quote from Theodore Roosevelt was attached in that email. "The credit belongs to the person who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by the dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs, who comes short again and again, because there's no effort without error and shortcoming. We will all have our share of failure. We will all face adversity, but we must gain strength from these trials, because the ones who succeed are the ones that continue to fight and strive for success, the ones that put in the hard work and persevere despite failure, the ones who don't say "I can't." Thank you.
At this time, we will prepare for the presentation of the diplomas.
Andre Corday Adams. Takara Nicole Adams. Fatima Jamal Al-Saeed. Tiara Shanice Alford. Isaiah Keontae Alston. Kieran Alston. Madeline Eileen Amos. Charisma Jantel Anderson. Jessica Nazir Applewhite. Socorri Andrell Armstrong. Alexis Raquel Faith Arrington. Akia Ivana Arrington. Sherelle Angie Arrington. Quayshawn Laquez Avon. Maurice Antonio Bagley. Miranda Lachelle Bailey. Zamari Rayon Baker. Harris Banks. Raekwon Javon Barlow. China Celeste Battle. Latrice Anita Battle. Tondisha Shonice Battle. Gervonta Deshaun Battle Harris. Brianna Michelle Battle. Tasheen Ramir Bennett. William Cleveland Bethea Jr. Allison Grace Binkley. Saja Noel Blackwell. Reagan Shaquille Bobbitt. Ian McRae Brandon. Zane Mackenzie Brandon. Akila Zamisha Braswell. Raekwon Tariq Braswell. James Luke Brewer. Brian Marquez Briggs, Jr. Keisha Ada Elizabeth Brenson. Tyler Ray Brown. Talia Buenrostro. Izola Camille Bullock. Alexis Paige Butler. Jacob Scott Butler. Jermisha Kashika Bynum. Adriana Marie Cabrera Zarita. Duncan Thomas Carmichael. Joshua Delmar Carter. Broderick Arnez Caudle. Christian Nicole Caudle. Nicholas Kenneth Chamberlain. Nikita Rashonda Chavis. Kiara Joy Cherry. Michael Benjamin Coleman. Brittany Lynn Collins. Catherine Denise Condry. Jakai Samad Delano Allen Cooper. Joshua Nikel Cooper. Kenaz Emmanuel Cooper. William Thomas Cooper III. Ronnie Simone Kaufman. Amber Ray Crandall. Maverick Raquel Crawford. Leon Crawley Jr. Amonte Rashawn Davis. Azriel Lachelle Davis. Jayla Capri Davis. Maisha Quenisha Davis. Nicholas Scott Davis. Malika Chantel Dickens. Tashika Dejon Dickens. Saquana Raquel Dickens. Cameron Miles Douglas. Courtney Danielle Douglas. Jade Elizabeth Downs. Jaquan Taki Edge. Meredith Grace Eaton. Brianna Caitlin Eiserman. Darian Alexander Ely. Patrick Ryan Ellis. Aiden Thomas Espinoza. Corinthia Nicole Evans. Deidre Karina Evans. Joshua Aaron Falls. Ewan Deshaun Najee Ferris. Brittany Tanae Faith. Jalika Denitra Funderburg. Bernice Renee Garrett. Nina Wincel Ignacio Gonzalez.
Tamaya Chantel Gould. Caitlin Michelle Graham. Khadijah Louise Marie Gray. Sherelle Wanda Gray. Shannon Crystal Green. Shania Asha Green. Brianna Renee Gupton. Shantae Taeja Ham. Aisha Deshir Hardison. Adrian Brianna Harris. Dequan DeJure Harris. Rayshawn Devontae Harris. Billy Marston Harrison. Elancio Saquon Harrison. Gabrielle Antoinette Harrison. Shakila Alize Hart. Korean Najreet Hassan. Brittany Michelle Hatch. Tariq Rayvon Hawkins. Danny Vic Hedgepeth. Chester Blake Hims. Travis Wade Hendricks. LeDerrick Marcel Higgs. Victoria Elizabeth Hillhorst. Kie Takia Hines. Tiara Lachey Hinton. Tony Francisco Hope Jr. Anthony Ray Horn Jr. Valina Kamika Horn. Joshua Maxwell Huerta. Darius Kaylee Hammond. Cameron Azale Jacobs. Laisha Monet Jacobs. Tyreek Rayshawn Jenkins. Sarah Baz Johnson IV. Jamal Stephen Johnson. Kenard Tremaine Johnson. Reginald Charles Johnson. Antorio Monte Jones. Kareem Johnson. Darika Keyshawn Jones. Kajuan Natwe Jones. Rakasia Brene Jones. Gabrielle Alexandra Joseph. Dominique Alexis Joyner. Bakembe Denzel Kearney. Holden Andrew Kerr. Keon Dante Knight. Leonard Tyree Lancaster. Shakira Chanel Lawrence. Imani Sade Lewis. Malik Antonio Lewis. Joseph Daniel Lloyd. Zachariah Quatika Trinae Lloyd. Jennifer Lachey Love. Tatiana Lucas. Earl Moses Mabry Jr. Sierra Lachey Mabry. Trayvon Terrell Marshburn. Ajarelis Gloriana Martinez. Elena Ashanti Martinez. Jamaica Lachey Massenberg. Dominique Rayshawn Maynor. Antoine Neshay McLean. Renetta Cherie McKnight. Brian Javon McLam. Rodney Keith Mercer. Matildas Jamero Menez Evans. Kaylee LaShawn Milton. Lachey Bland Miller. Nicholas Wiley Miller. Robert Leslie Miller. Randy Alexander Mills. Anquaniqua Senshay Mitchell. Caitlin Elizabeth Menzel. Jada Robriana Shanae Moore. Sierra Leandra Morris. Markeisha Sharnae Nicholson. Angela Danique Norfleet. Tamia Zanae Odom. Brianna Dawn Overton.
Alasia Marie Parker. Jamazi Demonta Parker. Sebastius Acure Parker. LaQuisha Renee Perkins. Dajuan Rashid Perry. Raquan Odell Petty. Sydney Hope Philbeck. Christian Jamez Pippin. Andrea Monique Pittman. Amir Raquan Pittman. Whitney Sion Pittman. Montravius Khalil Pitts. Christopher Antoine Powell. Rebecca Susan Pridgeon. Emily Alexander Privet. Jasmine Tabria Ransom. Davida Marie Rawl. Daniel Allen Reese. Quayshawn Malik Revis. Daniel Caleb Richardson. Natanya Simone Richardson. Tiana Sierra Richardson. Christian Rayvon Robertson. Shannon Marie Rolfe. Alec Mitchell Rudd. Mary Lou Salazar. Veronica Sanchez. Ariel Fernando Santos. Raheem Kamad Scott. Rodolfo Acosta Serrano. Nadia Adele Shahadi. Brianna Renee Shields. Derry Raquan Jaquel Smith. Derica Chantel Smith. Sierra Joris Smith. Eric Christian Sorensen. Major Herman Spruill. Rakeem Rajay Staggers. Chandler Gray Stroud. Deja Ayana Stiles. Raheem Jahab Taylor. Brittany Shayana Terry. Nashe Laura Thomas. Nakiria Monique Thomas. Taisha Diana Thomas. Delisha Shante Thorne. Tomar Arkim Thornton II. Makai Monet Tillery. Erglin Giovanni Bonilla Tercios. Timothy Francisco Vega. Emily Grayson Vick. Willard Philip Brett Jr. Ebony Maya Wade. Amanda Monique Wagner. Elijah Van Walker. Markel Warren. Drusilla Delois Waterman. Tempest Monique Watson. Alicia Lachey Weaver. Vaughn Lorenza Weaver Jr. Garrett Stephen Webb. Joshua Daquan Webster. Roman Whitaker III. Alexis Jaquay Whitaker. Stephen Whitaker Jr. William Trayvon White. Rashawn Rebecca Whitley. Marquidra Imari Nicole Whitted. Jasmine Tashay Wiggins. Alex Juan Gamil Williams. Brendan Malik Williams. Israel Jawan Williams. Marquise Tadero Deshawn Williams. Michael Reginald Williams, Jr. Natalie Sinclair Williams. Nevadra Yakira Williams. Sequoia Lachey Williams. Shayla Joy Williams. Tahira Melisha Williams. Tamara Michelle Williams. Ashley Renee Willoughby. Alex Watson Winnett. Tanasia Francis Christina Winstead. Joshua Dion Wood. Anada Janae Woodley. Shakelvia Jean Yarrell. Kaya Monique Young.
But they have your attention. If I can have your attention, let me have your attention, please. Thank you all so much for honoring the request of National Rocky Mountain National Rocky Mountain Public Schools and Rocky Mountain High School. As I've done each year since my tenure as principal, at the beginning of the school year, I asked the senior class to do several things. I asked them to lead the student body with exemplary behavior in academics, discipline, and character. And they have lived up to the legacy. This senior class has amassed almost $2 million in scholarship awards. I am so appreciative that you honored your word, that you accepted the challenge, and that you helped lead the student body in the third year of our new school. This class, just as all of my graduating classes before you, carry a special place in my heart. I have watched most of you grow from naive, unsure freshmen to mature, assured young men and women who have a purpose. You are making history today. You are the third group of students to graduate from this new building. You are now part of a Griffon legacy that will live in this community forever. And like the first graduating classes who came before you, your names, footsteps, handprints, and voices are etched into the halls and walls of this school as long as it shall stand. Class of 2015, we had some hills to climb this year. We had a few valleys to cross. But even in the face of adversity and personal loss, you were able to stand. Some of us got weak at times, but others stepped in and helped us when we needed it the most. I saw with my own eyes this graduating class model the behavior of let the strong bear the infirmities of the weak. You have begun a legacy of togetherness. You are the last class that will graduate from this new building who attended the old senior high. This class has completed the transition. You represent completeness. You helped make what seemed impossible, possible. And you did it together. As you move forward in your lives, I encourage you to maintain the rich past of this school and this community. Remember that in teamwork, there are no big I's and no little U's. Let the life you live from this point on be a shining example to this community as to why we should always push our political squabbling and our personal agendas to the side when it comes to making decisions that impact the education of our children. Let your life remind us to always do what is best for children, because you are our most precious resource. By the power vested in me by the National Rocky Mountain Board of Education and in the state of North Carolina,
I now pronounce you graduates of Rocky Mount High School with all rights, privileges afforded hereby. Those of you who have your hats on, you may turn your tassel.